But anyway,
Do you find that filters, that email filters in organisations, if you've got things like pictures, they filter them out? That's what I find with mine, with my emails.
I think it depends on your market. I've never had any of that problems with my market, but then I'm for small businesses. You're talking about big corporates. They filter out images. Okay, good, because that's one of the things we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so let's look at branding. Okay, colours. It can still be colours, which has nothing to do with images. So branding, we just need to have something. Make sure your contact details are on there. A lot of people send out these newsletters, they don't put their email, they don't put their phone numbers, they don't put anything on it. So you need to be able to get people to be able to get in touch with you if you want them to, right? Next thing also with that is don't put your personal address on it if you're an at-home worker. People do that all the time, no joke. I have so many clients I'm going and going, let me just take that part of the address out, okay? You don't want it everywhere. Okay, next thing, social follow, social share.
Sorry, I just have a question.
Yes.
Can you put your personal mobile number if you don't have
It depends on
0800?
if it's a company. I do. I put my mobile number down because I'm only emailing it to clients who I know, people who I know are on my list and who I know. It depends on however you want to do it. You can have no phone number there if that's what works better. It just depends on who you've also got answering the telephone.
Okay, because my users, I wouldn't know them personally.
Okay, got it. So it depends on what you feel comfortable with. You can always turn your phone off at night, so it doesn't matter. But yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
So you can also use a Skype call. There's a Skype phone number you can have as well, depending on how comfortable you feel. Okay, social follow, social share. So, for example, you've got a nice email out about wine. You're selling the wine, and somebody wants to put that on Facebook. That email. You've got, and I use something called MailChimp, and I don't know how many of you guys use MailChimp. So MailChimp has got this really cool thing about social share, where you can actually state what you want the image and the wording to be like if they share it on social media. Does that make sense as well?
Yes.
Okay. It's very cool. And that's something you really got to make sure that if they share it, what will it look like? So please check it on social media before you send it out. Social follow, make sure you've got all your social media icons on it. It's just another way for them to communicate with you. And we, sometimes also we want them to be on the social media because it's easier for them to communicate that way as well. Subject lines. Okay, you send out an email, you want it to be opened.
Yes.
Saying newsletter, probably unless they really love you, will not get it open. Okay, it will not get it open. So you've got to be really specific about your subject lines. The other thing you've got to be careful of, if you can personalise your social line, so with MailChimp you can actually put their first name in it. So, getting a, Naadia, it's great to see you, or Naadia, we've only got 3 days to go. I'd more than likely open it than I would if it just said 3 more days to go. So personalising your subject lines can be really cool as well. And also, when you look at your subject line, see if it can, I want you to look at it and go, would I open that if I saw that in my email? Because a lot of the time we are our target market to a certain degree. And so you've got to check out, would you open it? Out of the 5,000 you've got on your email address, would you open that email? So subject lines are really important, but they have to relate to something in the email. But you've got to make it short, sharp, interesting when you look at it. Any questions about subject lines? Cool. Segmenting your list. If you can know what people are interested in, you can then make sure that they get the information that they need. So, for example, if you've got 2 or 3 different clients, you know how we were talking about avatars? Like there are different types of clients that you've got. So you might have a mum, you might have a dad, or a businessman and a businesswoman, and one would be called Beth and one would be called George. So with Beth, she's going to be interested in certain things, so you want to make sure that you segment her out. It could be by sex, male, female. It could be whatever, depending on what you wanted to segment your list with. The way you find out who they are is by asking them questions. If you can ask your list questions about what they're interested in, and it could just be a couple of questions, or if you give them an opt-in. So a client opt-in is if they go online and you give your email address to somebody, you can have different opt-ins depending on which one they actually went into. Whichever one they chose would go into your list as a group, as a different group. So that group, I have a group in my MailChimp list called opt-ins, and I've got the 6 ways a business is interested in this. I've got, okay, if you want to become a techie BA, that's another opt-in because they're different They're for the same company, but they're different markets as such. So make sure you segment your list so you can then email them on specific subjects. Now, obviously, you might also want to go to your whole list for things. The other thing you should look at when you're talking with MailChimp is that if you've got 4 lists, for example, and you're emailing every single list the same newsletter, it should be one list. Otherwise, how MailChimp works is you pay per email per list. So if you've got the same person in 4 lists, you're paying for them 4 times. Also, they're getting 4 emails, which is not good. Because then they unsubscribe, and they might not unsubscribe from the main list, they might unsubscribe from some other little list. And then also when you put them all together, they'll come in as unsubscribed. So that you can't actually add them again to another list if they've already been unsubscribed. Okay, number 5, mobile friendly. As we know, 61% of us are mobile friendly. You need to make sure you're mobile friendly. You send out an email, check it on a whole lot of different platforms. MailChimp actually has a feature that you can do that where you can pay, or you can set yourself up on Hotmail. If you've got Outlook on your computer, you set yourself up on Gmail and just have a look what it's going to look like on different things. And then make sure you have a look at it on your phone, especially with images. If images go too far or you have to go this way to do it, not a great look. And people will just, it'll be too hard. Obviously, and also make sure that your links work. And work well on a mobile. So whatever you're linking to also needs to be mobile friendly. Next, personalize. Yes, right, go.
What OS would I focus on if I have limited budget? What mobile?
I would definitely do Mac. So you do an iOS 6 and above maybe for the phone. You're talking about like either Android or
iPhone?
iPhone. So you do one for each.
Oh yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Especially for the mobile part. If you were talking, and then there's, personalising. Okay, your email needs to come from a person. So it could be Ruby, Wine Direct, for example. I know that might not be you, but you know what I mean. So for me, it'll be Naadia at Uniqueness Solutions, because that's my company. So, but it comes from me as a person. I've still got my company there, but then I'm automatically personalising it. And especially at the bottom, even if it comes, so like, I get emails from Countdown, and it's always from a person. You know, it might not be from it, but they've got Andrew, some Andrew something at the bottom. It's like, oh, it's from a person. It needs to be from a person, because people need to be done from a person. And then also personalising. You know how we get an email and it's like, hi Mandy, how's it going? And then you're looking at the email and halfway down it goes, Mandy, so what are you doing today? You know, just having your name in there, kind of like you're writing a letter. People love having their names in an email. I love it, and I even know how they do it. And I know it's a good thing, but I don't care. People like getting their names in an email. Obviously, it needs to be organic. And then the other thing with emails is you need to write that to what's going to work for your market. So I write like I talk. That's slower, obviously. But I kind of write, hey, it was so cool. I got this ticket to social media marketing. I went along and now blah, 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 blah. So I write like I talk. But you're talking to, like if you're talking to more corporate, which you are, it needs to be in a more corporate tone. So you've also got to write to your market, but still make it personalised. Because there is a bit of your personality in there too, right? Because like people like having it from a personality point of view. Because sometimes corporates can be a bit too corporate. You know what I mean, right? Yes.
Regarding personalizing.
Yes.
So I'm into community platforms. Mm-hmm. So rather than I have info at my website.com.
Yep.
And support at Instant, because that's what
no,
I see
that's fine.
in
Yeah,
general.
cool. Yeah.
Is it better to put like
You can
Kioma
still have the email address like that, but the actual email would be from you.
and then you write?
As in, because it says you can have, so you have the
The
email
from address can be support at
completely, but then but there's also, normally it's got, you know how it comes up and it says on your emails it goes, there's always the name of it and then the email address, so that name bit would be you personally.
I use my
Or you
my
use
company
what?
name.
Well, you'd have your name at your company. because it needs to come from a person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so for me it would come Naadia Uniqueness Solutions, and then it would be Naadia, well, mine's, or support at, that's fine, but the from name needs to be a person. Even if it is a person in the company, it still needs to be a person. So then there's the personalising it, making sure you're talking to somebody as well, because you are talking to somebody when you do it. Next thing is call to action. If you've got a call to action, make sure you've got to also check out what's the point of this email. Like really, what's the point? If it's just to impart information, that's fine. But if you can have some kind of call to action, even if it's just, hey, reply me and tell me what you think, if that's the call to action. You can use buttons, because MailChimp has really cool buttons. You can use links, but make sure you've got to look at it. If I'm talking to somebody who doesn't understand anything about technology, that's the person you need to make it so obvious to. Click here to do this. Because otherwise people go, oh, I don't know how to do it, and you're like, it's highlighted, that's a hyperlink, that's obvious, but to a lot of people it's not. Make sure hyperlinks are underlined. Make sure you do not use any underline anywhere else that is not a hyperlink. Does that make sense, guys? People do it all the time and you're like, that's not a hyperlink. Okay, so call to actions, make sure if you get one, put one in. Very important. Make sure your links connect to where you want them to go. Very important. Last thing is you want a broken link. Unless you do it on purpose so you can send out an oops email. Because sometimes the oops email works better than the actual email. I would only do that though. I've sent out a couple mainly because there has been an oops. You know, doing things too fast. Yeah, you're just like, oh, sorry. Exactly. But an ops email gets more traction. That's the way it does it. Images. Right, we're back to this question, Nandi. Okay, you've got to be careful about the images. So a lot of email systems automatically turn off images. So you've got to, one thing, make sure the images are on if you're wanting to do images. I would use images in my wording, but not the whole thing would be an image for that reason. And also, if you've ever got an image, make sure it's linked to something, if you can. So if you're talking about a holiday in Jamaica and you've got a picture of it and then it says this is where you go to find out more information, make sure that information thing is also on the link in the image. Also, there's something called an alt tag, A-L-T. Make sure you write that in. Like you write in what the image is. So if they can't see an image, at least they can tell what it is. Okay. Obviously, you've got to check out who you can. So my target market personally is definitely not corporates. But if you're writing to corporates, you go, okay, I can't have images. What else can I do? So obviously, making it short and sharp and sweet would be really good. But if you're doing it with the homeowners and stuff, imaging is so huge, especially with what in the supermarket. It's all about emotion, and imaging is still the best way of doing it. If you do, you can also do a video where you have an image of a video, or even just the word click here to the video, and then they go somewhere else for a video. And then on that lead page, the sales page, you can also have some more information where they need to go to. That would be like a website. So the biggest thing with emails is you do the email and then it links to where you want it to go. You can also send out your blogs on an email, which is really cool. I send out, you can actually get it happen automatically too, but they're really cool with the images.
As an attachment,
a video, so you can have an image and then that image gets connected to a video. That would either be on YouTube or Vimeo, or it might be embedded into a web page, for example, depending on whatever information you wanted. It depends on how you wanted to do it and how what it was that you wanted to do. You can't embed videos in an email system. You have to go somewhere else to see it. Okay, just to give you guys a heads up with that.
Can you have an attachment on a bulk? You can't.
No, I would try not to do an attachment. Do it as a link. So it links it and then it comes up in the web page as its own thing. It's much easier to do. I mean, most systems won't allow you to do it anymore. Yeah. No. But so with MailChimp, right, you have a link and the link goes to a file which is uploaded to MailChimp. So it's kind of like an attachment, but it's linked through. Yeah. Any other questions about images?
I have other questions regarding email.
Can I? Oh, just quickly finish these two. No, and I want to answer them. I do. I just want to quickly get through this. Automations. Anyone? So automations is, you know how you sign up for something for free, and then you get an email, then you might get another email, and you get another email, and another email. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's called an automation. It happens automatically. It's not somebody sending out emails to you. It's automatic. So 2 days after they sign up here, send this. 3 days send this, 4 days sign this. It's a really good way of personalising to your market who you are, especially if these are new people. So somebody just signs up on your website to get the wholesale wine, for example, and then you would send them something about, you know, hey, how was it? Did you find what you're looking for? And then the next one, a couple of days later, could be, oh, by the way, hey, we've got this great special going on at the moment. But the whole idea is, depending on what you do, you need to make it as personalised as possible. It could be a video that they have a look at it, because you want them to know you. Because remember, it can take about between 7 and 12 touch points before somebody will purchase from you. So don't go, hi, do you want to buy my $1,000 program? Or would you like to marry me on a handshake? That's not how it works. You have to wine and dine them. You've got to go out on a date a couple of times. So that's what these emails are like. These are you wining and dining your customers. So for an MBA, you might want to talk to them a couple of times about what they could get out of it. And see, if you make them shorter, they're more likely to look at them than a long email. Because you know how you open an email and go, okay, no, I don't have time. But I have time for a short paragraph, no problem. And so that's something else you've got to check out if your client knows how much time they have, because most of us don't. Next thing, newsletters. Newsletters are great, but don't expect to sell a lot from them. You will sell more from a specific email on a specific topic than you will from anything else. So you're doing an event, send it out on one. Andrew did an email a couple of weeks ago that said, are you missing, are you waiting to the last minute to do everything in life? And he spoke about all this thing, and then it was actually about his event, but he had some really good ideas in front of it as well. But it was on that one specific topic. I've got a psychic, and she sends out a newsletter. It's got some great, and she gets a bit of contact from it. I said, no, we've got to send out one. So we sent out one email, and she got it filled up. So you have a really good subject line, and then the information is exactly what they want, what they're interested in. And it's on a specific topic, short, sharp, sweet. And if you have an image, that really works as well.
Do you find that it takes a few newsletters to build up the trust so that
Oh, completely, of course it
you
is.
can't just go out?
12 touch points.
Yeah.
So, and also you never know where they're ready. So for example, Mandy could be ready, I want to buy now. I'm not sure. So you never know when they're ready, so you've got to be ready when they're ready. And remember, it's a long game, it's not a short game. 12 touch points takes a while. Okay? Also, obviously, referrals and stuff will make it easier, but it's the touch points. So that's what automations are great. The other thing is, this is perfect for you if you can do it. Birthdays. People love getting an email on their birthdays. You can automate it. You get a birthday, it goes out automatically on somebody's birthday. It's really, those kind of things can be really cool. You've got a date that somebody signed up for something and you need to send them a reminder a year later. That can be automated. The more we automate, the less we forget, the better the customer experience is for the client. So when we come to building our database when it comes to emails, you need to get them. If you're asking for somebody's email, make sure you get their first name, because as I said, hi Naadia works a lot better than anything else. Making sure, because then you're talking personally to me, can be really important. So make sure if you're ever asking for their email addresses, you get their first name. I always get their last name as well. Otherwise you get, hi Naadia, Jackson-Amiga on one line. Because people automatically write their names. They don't think. Unless you've got first name and then last name. And then they go, oh, get rid of that and put it in the right field. People don't mind, we're not America, people don't mind giving us that stuff. And if they are, they probably are your client market anyway, I mean really. So making sure you do that. On Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, there's always a place where you can have a web address. So you could have free gifts. Got your company name, for example, on everything. And when they go to that, it's an opt-in. So they opt in for a free gift. You get their email address in their database. Their email address and their first name, and then it goes into your database. Make sure you track where each person's coming from. Now, if you've got multiple clients, like we've got George and Bruce and Gertie are my 3 client markets. One's a mother, one's a father, and one's a businessman, for example, who's interested in golf. I might go onto a golf website and have a special, if I'm a carpenter, for example, or a builder, go, oh, want to build a place to keep your clubs? Sign up here. So I'm a builder, he's on the golf thing, but that's a way of getting database for that. You've got to check out with your client avatar where they're going to be hooking up and then what would they be interested in for them to give you your email address. Does that make sense? And then once you've got them, then you've got to track where they each come from, because then you go, oh, he likes golf. Oh, they came through Facebook. Okay, great. They like Facebook. This person's come to my website. They're obviously interested in my website. And then you can even have different automations that go out to them. Hey, you came to the website. What did you think? Is there anything I can help you with? Oh, hey, hey, did you friend me on Facebook? I hope you did. I'd love to, catch up personally, or personal message me, or however you communicate. And then knowing where they all come through or how they get to your data into your database is a really huge thing as well. Okay, questions?
Can I ask you about the legality around it? So you have to have an opt-out in your email. You have to. We did a net tag promo to win a trip to South Australia, and heaps people said, no, don't add me to your database.
Yep.
You can't then go and find them on Facebook or anything.
You can. I mean, the thing is though, if they're not interested in you, then don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And you also find that people will come back.
But they were interested in the first place because they bought the product,
And then that you've done a competition.
Yeah, so it was a net tag promo, so they bought the product into the competition. Yeah. So we know they're interested, we know they're on market, but they said we don't want to hear anything else. We can't.
But then they aren't your market though. If they're not interested in hearing anything from you,
they just didn't want to be.
It's the whole inundated with emails.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't email. You need to do it at least once a month to keep them interested, but don't do it anything more than every week or every 2 weeks, especially not in New Zealand, unless it's for a specific purpose. And that's what they signed up for. So, for example, if you've got a 6-week course that's coming up, or a 5-day course, and they know that they're getting an email from you every day, that's different because they've signed up for something. Competitions are a bit of a. That's why I don't put that on there. But you've got to. There's just so many things. So the thing is, they're not going on your newsletter. You don't send newsletters. You send out. So I suppose it's also maybe a different way of saying it.
Yeah.
So don't say we're signing up to our database. It could be, do you want to sign up to get great tips and trips, or sign up to get great specials? Oh, okay, I want to stay on. Yeah. But the moment you say newsletter or database, they're like, no. But you've got to say why. So I'm on my countdown one because I can find out when the 2-day specials are. But I wouldn't have done that if it was their newsletter. So that's why you never say to people, sign up to my newsletter, because no one wants to sign up to your newsletter. Really. But they'll sign up to get great tips and tricks. They'll sign up to hear the leading things in MBA, for example. They'll sign up to find out what's the newest and greatest on your app, for example. They'll sign up for, it's easy. Supermarket, there's lots, right? So this is the thing, depending on what communications, there'll be heaps of stuff that you can put out there. So please don't talk about newsletters. Newsletters are dead and gone. And no one wants to sign up for them anymore.
For what? Sorry, what's that?
Newsletters.
Newsletters.
No one wants to sign up for a newsletter because it's just another thing in your email. Exactly. So you don't understand that with communication. You've got to make sure you communicate to your audience the way that they need to be communicated to. Okay.
So my goal in my platform is to just have one to 2 step registration.
Yep.
So log in via Facebook. With Facebook, I can get their first name and last name. But when they sign up by email, sometimes it doesn't contain their email unless they connect with me by email.
If you're doing it via Facebook?
I get it via Facebook and email. So
So with the email thing, you need to make sure that they have to sign it. They have to put those details in.
Because it's just that nowadays people just don't want to fill up a lot of stuff. So
it depends. So it depends on who your client market is. And it could be. Are you dealing mostly with millennials?
Busy people.
Does anyone have? I don't have any problem putting in my. It takes me. It's quicker to put my name in than it is my email address.
But if
it's up to about you want to do. So you don't have to have that information, but you kind of need that.
How do you convince if I don't ask them to fill in first name and last name? How do you convince them to set up their profile in an email? Okay, good point. You've got to tell them why. Why should they fill it up? So why should they fill it out? So you'd go, okay guys, you make sure you fill out your profile now. Okay, quickly go and do it now. And this is why. Because we want to make sure we send you an email with your name on it. Or whatever. It could be just that, But I would, if you can, get their name before you do it. Because people don't go back. I agree. But that's why I would ask them, even just their first name. Ask them to fill in their first name and email address. People will do it. You just have to believe.
We ask people for their dates of birth, and I'm staggered that people do. And when they first said that we need to get their dates of birth, I'm going, people won't give you their date of birth. They won't do that every time.
You know why? Because everyone's so used to sharing everything. Have you seen what people put on their Facebook page?
So they're okay with actually putting their date of birth?
Yeah.
Don't have any issue with it whatsoever. Every time.
Mostly though, you know why? If I put my date of birth and I know I'm going to get something on my birthday. Otherwise, why would they need it?
Oh.
Well, it's just like for Facebook. Facebook asks you all these questions, right? And they tell them that you have to fill it out. You could do it as they have to fill it out. They have to go and fill out the profile before they go any further. It could even be the next screen that comes out. Because you know when you sign up for something, it's the next screen that comes up as your profile, so you have to go in and fill it all out. Make them do it.
Like a pop-up screen.
Yes, so make them fill it out. That's so they sign up. Next screen is fill out your details. Because you will, because you're told to do it. If you get told to do something, people will do stuff all the time. But we don't tell them. They just like, oh, so you did an email, so what am I meant to do with it? So you've got to have a call to action. Does that make sense with that?
Yes.
Perfect. Any other queries?
I have another one.
Please.
How do you get around being flagged as spam? Because I email username and password.
So that's why, so what you would do is you'd actually say to people on the, might be the screen, hey, please make sure add support at to your safe senders list. Or make sure you add me to your contacts. Tell them to do it, they'll do it. And you can actually do it on the lead pages as well. Because you know how you have a, so normally with an opt-in, you have an opt-in which is the form, and then it goes to a thank you page which is normally a web page. On that web page, tell them to do stuff. Hey, make sure you like us on Facebook. Hey, make sure you add this email address, and this is why. Make sure you tell them why they need to do it. Hey, we've had some times that because email senders keep mucking up and sending us the spam, make sure you add this as a set content. They'll go, oh, okay, and make it easy for them.
A lot of those email programs, they run a scan. You can get them to run a scan to pick up any spam words. So like if you've got free all the time in your email, they'll alert you to them, and you can say, okay, I'll change that.
Oh yeah, don't use free. You could use f.r and then ee. There's a whole lot of different ways, but they are more aligned to using. Don't use free.
So just free. I read in a marketing, people want to. They kind of get interested when they hear about
Yes,
free
they do,
stuff.
but the mail system makes it so that it
mail
doesn't.
system.
The email systems will spam it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
And also say to people,
Don't use
oh yeah, thank you. If you haven't received an email with us within 15 minutes, please check your spam folder. Because most people don't even realise they have one.
Oh, that's good. Great stuff.
Any questions? Does that make sense? You got my details on it if you need anything. See? My details are on the bottom.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
Thank
thanks
you.
guys.
Thank you.